No more unknown people. People with dignity. Check with credentials. See, say we official. Check with credentials. See, we are no criminal. Check with credentials. I want you to see that we're legal. Check with credentials. I want you to see that we original. Ha. Princes and princesses, sons and daughters of kings and queens, taken from Africa, and they were brought to the Americas to build up your countries. Your dreams of illusions, now nightmares and confusions. Check with credentials. I beg you, check with credentials. Check with credentials. Why would we, on His Majesty's mission? I beg you, check with credentials. King of kings of creation. I beg you, check with credentials. Cause no matter where we go, we want the world to know it's legal. We on His Majesty's mission. And anything we do, no more unknown people. People with dignity. Check with credentials. See, say we official. Check with credentials. See, we are no criminal. Check with credentials. I want you to see that we're legal. Check with credentials. I want you to see that we original. Ha. Princes and princesses, sons and daughters of kings and queens, taken from Africa, and they were brought to the Americas to build up your countries. Your dreams of illusions, now nightmares and confusions. Check with credentials. I beg you, check with credentials. Check with credentials. Why would we, on His Majesty's mission? I beg you, check with credentials. King of kings of creation. I beg you, check with credentials. Cause no matter where we go, we want the world to know it's legal. We on His Majesty's mission. And anything we do, we got to get you on this mission. And check with credentials. Did you check with credentials? Why would we? Oh, why would? Why would? Why would? Check with credentials. I want you to see that you're not cigarette. I miss you take with credentials. I want you to see we are not terrorists. I beg you check with credentials. I want you to see that we official. I beg you check with credentials. I and I father no partial. I beg you check with credentials. And then we bigger than Field Marshal. And we want the world to see the good things that He done for we. And we want the world to hear. And we want the world to fear. Fear it with love. And fear it with love. Check with credentials. Why would we? invitation. So beg you check with credential.
Yes, greetings and evening to each and everyone out there. Yeah, you see Hollywood, you see them, you know, imminent impeachment, fiasco. God help us. I tell you, God help us, guys. It's going to be rougher than rough. I don't tell you, see, the man is Nero. Yes, we have credentials. I'll leave you with something to look at whilst we celebrate the Earth Strong, are two great artists, you know, Nestor Marley and Mr. Derek Harriott. Yeah, we leave you before with the Bar Jesus scenario, Acts 13, 6 to 12. Yes, you think I just forgot? No, man, we not forget nothing. You see, God help we. So now we'll go back on another thing now. We'll bring you something different and the same area, you know, and it's not the Quran. See? We are said, why is we are doing the thing? Come in and leave until we go there, take up your book and look for Deuteronomy 24, 16 to 20. If you want to read all of it, you know what I mean? You want to read Deuteronomy 24 to 20, that's good still. You understand? You get the full substance without your pastor, you see? But what I want to show you is when you don't read that now, make your mind understand, you know, if this is God speaking, there's no Trinity. Second of all, right, that's first. Second of all, there's no crucifixion. Third of all, there's no redemption through crucifixion. You see? Yeah. The spilling of blood and all of that something there, that now work. You see? Now, I'm a lay person, I'm not a preacher of the scriptures. I'm a reader, and I used to be a reader. You see? And my family, you understand? Them dabble in the thing, said we. All of us did. You understand? There's not an African Caribbean person that can say different, only Rastafari. See? So, that being said and that being understood, right? I am saying, you know what I mean? It's full time being here in England, and we have accessibility to so much, and yet still we're doing very little for ourselves as a people, not as individual, you know, individuals, because we are going like say, as individuals, we just go through the thing, and we hustle through the thing, and we have made something. We have not made anything. Everything's remained the same, and nothing has improved since the 60s, 70s. You understand? With good reflection, not a damn thing has changed for us. Nothing. You understand? The climate has. Yeah. Football players get paid a whole heap of money. You understand? More money than before. You understand? Them was many years to try to get to 100,000 and then 250,000, and now there are millions. I tell you. You understand? So that is what has changed. Stadiums have become bigger. Racism hasn't gone, and we have been ignored as black people, African people. You understand? We've been totally ignored, and it seems that we will cry for others and weep for others and show a whole heap of sympathy for others that we don't even know, and forgot what did happen to us, to our ancestors, and what did happen to our parents. I mean, it's not long ago, you know. It's not very long ago, you see. And then, true to this sympathy touching up, we came and helped rebuild England. We, the children of the slaves, our parents, you see? Because we're here, you understand? But our parents were sought after to help the rebuilding. But you see, with Africa now, we must say, quite frankly, Africa has dismissed us. We must look at that carefully, you know. We must sit down, we must lie down, stand up, walk about, and think carefully. And then try dream. When did Africa call we? When did Africa come to fetch we? And in light of saying that, we must also look at, see how England is so readily able and willingly able to deport people, and yet still they couldn't repatriate we back to where we come from. Even if them just drop us off. But they could have gone out of their way to get another people and create a haven for them. May I always say in my own conscience, you know, this has something to do with the atom bomb. It has something to do with ammunition. It has something to do with that. That's why them did this deal. It has something to do with this. You understand? This is me. You see, it just pop up in my soul like that, because there's no other justified reason, but there's a bigger one still, because everything to do with black people is being whitewashed, you know, through academia, through information, through documentation, you understand, and so on. So, but Africa, beside the deals that America and whoever else their allies did in Sierra Leone, no African have been called. Even Kwame Tour, the brother name from Africa, them people them not call we. Him rate Marcus Garvey, yes. Nkrumah, yes. But them never say, well, Africans in the diaspora, Africans in North America, turn the edge to Africa and come on home. He never said that. Him just say him rate Marcus Garvey. You see. May I tell you, don't let them young boy them come today, you know, and want to love we up and want to try to tell we that. He never said that. The closest statement that was made, it was Marcus Garvey allegedly said, look to Africa. And there's more words than that, because people just use that short word to say, look to Africa for the crowning of a king. No, there was more than that. But there was nobody. None of those African leaders make a pledge to say, listen here, we want back with people. You understand? That not happen. That's why when you see them sit down and get up and spread themselves out and all kind of something there, and them feel pain for the Second World War victims and people that said they were victims and all these things. You need to watch them carefully. You need to watch them carefully, because it's we that make all inroads wanting to go to Africa. Does Africa actually want us? Do they acknowledge us? It's a serious question, you know. Some people out there are provoked by that, because they say, what the hell is wrong with him? There's nothing wrong with me. It's a serious question. It's a serious question, because the Europeans left Europe and go to Al-Quds, Palestine, and murdered hundreds of thousands of people in a crusade. And they haven't stopped yet. Them just seem to be calm. They haven't stopped. And when you watch some of these alleged recordings of what they're saying, or people are saying, is Arab slaves, Arab slavery. Look at the charcoal that is being projected to us. Look at it. And we can't find any depicting us. What a serious thing, isn't it? It's a serious thing. And I keep telling you, we are Arabs also. What them call Arab, we are that. How them get to call an area of Africa Arabia? And why did them find it necessary to make canals? I mean, come on. When they had us enslaved and they were doing explorationary work, and archaeologists were doing their work, we was trying to sort ourselves out. Where? In North America and the Caribbean. When they were beating up our brothers and sisters in Namibia, in Nubia, all the way through to Sudan, we were picking cotton. We were being lynched and beaten. So there's a lot of gaps. And any learning, our so-called information that we seem to have harvested is only being trickled down from them. You get me? And I keep trying to tell people, when they speak of Sudan, they always speak of Arabs. And just because some of us are we have a so-called integrational hatred. And that means when we look outside with we eyes, we see different shades of ourselves. But there's a shade of us that we seem to despise somewhat. And yet still, we want to be like. So when you see a fair-skinned African, and that's what I'm trying to do, and I've worked with a lot of us, you say Arab, especially when it's on the continent of Africa, and it's within the region of Sudan. So when you go up to Ethiopia, what are you saying? What are you saying? When you go to Namibia, what are you saying? When you go to Chad, what are you saying? We have some serious problem when you find that these so-called African, European-minded theological historians, where them get them vision from. It's atrocious. I should shout out anti-Semitic, because you all are dangerous to us. Me have an auntie that fear. And it was not doodle-darling with grandfather and grandmother. I just saw God send her out. It's just saw God send her out. There were 14 of them. And she come out fear. She done mix up with some Caucasian man or woman. Because her granddad and grandma are child. And we know that. 1,000%. And she's not an albino. She wasn't a bounce back, come forward. I saw God send her. And then nothing different. So what should I say? Oh, she's an Arab. We don't want her. Dash her to the side. Are you idiots? Is it? This whole Arab question, this whole Arab scenario needs to be sorted in your conscience. And I think some of you will never go to Sudan. You'll never go up the Nile. Yeah, I tell you. So you see Chad, Yemen, them have nothing to do with y'all, the Pan-Africans, eh? Namibia. Don't follow these so-called selective, idiotic, Caucasian, integrationist-minded, nonsensical people. We work with a whole continent. You understand? The question to be asked of England and France and Germany particularly, what did you do with our people? There's a genocide that no one now look at because some other people are run up their mouth. And you people who talk about Kemet, you should be asking a question, what happened to our ancestors? What happened to your ancestors? What happened to them? And you know that Akhenaten going to Sudan. Or do you? Because you no rate him. Man of face him. No, rate him. When I want to try talk that I am this try. No, it did not. A Sudan him go up in or what we call Sudan, Greater Egypt. Are them things you're supposed to look at. And ask some questions. And that dangerous man, Churchill, check his history. Don't talk about Churchill championing the Germans. Find out what him do in Africa. What did he do in Africa? What was his regiment? And check the train line that come from Egypt into Sudan. What was it all about? And how much thousands of Sudanese were butchered off of those trains and Gatling guns. Come on, you people. You're here in England, man. The British Library, the British National Library is right at your disposal. The vaults of history is here. In places that do make it difficult for us to enter. And not really to enter, to have access to. But with perseverance and tolerance, there's so much available. Not YouTube, not the conscious, so-called conscious community, no star. not Google. No. And there are some proud Africans on the continent that are real historians because it is their lives, it's their ancestors, which is ours. So there should be a connection. And when I said there's no one looking for us, the governments is only telling them, say, the year of return. What? There's more than 74 years in my lifetime, in many of our lifetimes. So what happened to my mother and father and my grandmother and grandfather? What, they didn't exist? And we just mentioned Nkrumah. Come on, let's not be crazy here. What were you doing? Sitting on your brains? And now all of a sudden you just wake up and remember that there were some diabolical, despicable things that happened on the continent. No, stop that. Stop that. Because over 70-something years, you stand up, you leave the continent, and you come to England and different places in remembrance of a Second World War. And not about your fallen soldiers that was never buried and showed no form of respect to. Too much questions to ask you all. That's why you don't seek for the International Criminal Court to charge any of these people for the despicable things that they have done. So I'm asking myself, really and truly, what is it that I'm trying to do? I mean, because it's like I'm trying to get the oxygen, the air, the wind to do something for me. Hoping that people would feel that cool breeze that look like me and say, it's about time we move. Because we are melanin. And sun is our goal. Not the son of man, not the son. The son that Allah, God Almighty, has lent to this earth. We need some of that blessed sun for this melanated body that the Almighty has awarded us. Why should we always die crazy, not knowing, and still in death not belonging? They're harsh words, you know. Because my grandparents died not belonging. Where them belong? Them never get back home. My grandmother them left Panama, never to return, and never got home. Never got home. So I don't know, what is it that's got us so mesmerized? But read Deuteronomy 24, 1 to 20. And if you want to cut anything short, let's go 24, 16 to 20. And we can read, I'm going to read it, but you shall read it while me celebrate Derek Harriott and Bob Marley Earth Strong. Yeah, man. I go into my musical. Yeah. I go in, out, round and about. You're going to get some serious music, man. Listen. Hey!
harmony. I hear you singing sweet harmony. I hear you singing sweet harmony. To win one soul, to win one soul, to win one soul. ensure ownership. Got to put on the clip, ensure ownership. She can steer it up, by the way you look at her, she can steer it up. She can steer it up, by the way you look at her, she can steer it up. Got to put on the clip, ensure ownership. Got to put on the clip, oh yeah, ensure ownership. Cause she nice to know, she nice to know, she nice to know. Cause she nice to know, she nice to know, she nice to know. Got to put on the clip, ensure ownership. Got to put on the clip, ensure ownership. She can steer it up, by the way you look at her, she can steer it up. She can steer it up, by the way you look at her, she can steer it up.
Pull it up, selector. Pull it up, selector.
Darling, come we go down, darling. Come we go down, darling. Come we go down. Cause we are go moonwalk. Cause we are go moonwalk. Cause we are go moonwalk. Oh, yeah, tonight. Oh, yeah, tonight. Darling, come, darling. Come, darling. Cause we are go moonwalk. Cause we are go moonwalk. Oh yeah, yeah. Cause we are go moonwalk. Oh, yeah, tonight.
Pull it up, selector. Pull it up, selector. A Lego this year one, yeah.
When Garvey left, he said we'd be free from all Babylon brutality. No more war, no more poverty in our society. It's too long now we've been suffering, I say. It's too long now we've been slaves. No one no even care about United States. They'd rather see I'm on eat clay. But Jah told Diamond in a vision that the reward of endurance is victory, I say. Whoa, whoa, yo. Whoa, whoa, yo. Oh, yo. But Brother Garvey, your words must come through. Until that day I shall not remove. I shall sit to see all who've done me wrong go down with Babylon. It's too long now we've been suffering, I say. It's too long now we've been slaves. No one don't even care about the United States. They'd rather see I'm on it play. But Jah told Diamond in a vision that the reward of endurance is victory, I say. Jah told Diamond in a vision that the reward of endurance is victory, I say. Whoa, yo, yo, yo. Oh, yo, yo, yo. Oh, yo, yo, yo. Yo, yo, yo.
This year one, yeah.
Revelation 5. Revelation 5. Reveal the Jah shall rise out of Ethiopia. It's time to open your eyes. It's time to realize that Jah is Lord of Lords. Hey, yanting to Kush, Kush, Kushia. Jah, Jah, Rastafari. Kush, Kush, Kushia. Jah, Jah, Rastafari. Hey, weeping, and they'll be moaning, and gnashing of teeth. Hey, say who no have no teeth, them down shall feel it. Who no have no teeth, them down shall feel it. Them gum shall surely feel it. Hey, I'm yanking to Kush, Kush, Kushia, yeah, I'm like Jah, Jah, Rastafari. Hey, Kush, Kush. Cushy eye. Jah, Jah, Rastafari. Kush, Kush, Cushy eye. Hey, Jah, Jah, Rastafari. Oh Jah, arise and let all our enemies be scattered. Flattered and flattered. Burn Opal, make Babylon kingdom fall to the ground. Jah,
Pull it up, selector. Pull it up, selector. A Lego this year one, yeah.
Derek, where I work with. Over 30 years. Yeah, man. Mr. Derek Harry. Sweetest, most talented musicians. Chariot. Track called the Queen of Sheba. Yeah. stress, you know. 25 and a half constant spring. Could you imagine a half? I tell you. Yeah. So we go on, man. Pleasant, you understand me?
Pull it up, selector. Pull it up, selector.
Everybody's supposed to know, should know. What I say? Stop the train.
Stop that train, I wanna get on. My baby, she's leaving me now. Stop that train, I wanna get on. My baby, she's leaving me now.
La 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 la.
Stop that train, I wanna get on. Stop that train, I wanna get on.
Mhm.
Ooh yeah.
Slide on. See, my woman can't go with another man, you know. She can't run. See? Yeah. No train, no plane. Just one man.
Stop that train. Stop that train, I wanna get on. Stop that train, I wanna get on.
Derek Harriet. Yes, man.
Pull it up, selector. Pull it up, selector. A Lego this year one, yeah.
Whoa. Yeah. I'm me and say now. No matter where you go, no matter what you do, if you don't have love in you, you got nothing at all. Cause remember, love conquer it all, love conquer everything. Whoa. Yeah. I'm me and say now. No matter where you go, no matter what you do, if you don't have love in you, you got nothing at all. Cause remember, love conquer it all, love conquer everything. The Ugly.
up this song now, eh? Pull up this song now, eh? Pull up this song now,
musicians. Why you know Shaft? This is Shaft. Without Isaac Hayes. Derek Harriott. Robbie Lynn. Can you dig it? Shaft.
Pull up this song, no, eh? 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 Pull up this song, no, eh?
Yes, Mr. Light Chalmers. And Aswell Hibbett. Yes. God bless your souls, man. Mr. Derek Harriet. Should be Sir Derek Harriet. Singer, songwriter, and producer.
Make the world go.
And a long businessman. Still in there. 25 and a half Constant Spring. Yeah. I don't know about the half.
Pull up this song now, eh? Pull up this song now, eh? Pull up this song now, eh? Pull up this song now, eh?
Yeah, man. Big family. Chosen, many. Redeemed. Hola. Musical fraternity.
Pull up this song now, eh? 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 Pull up this song.
Eric. Harriet. Crystal. Ray, where you there? Bless your soul, man. Also.
Say now, no matter where you go, no matter what you do, if you don't have love in you, you got nothing at all. Cause remember, love conquer it all, love conquer everything.
No for I. No for I. Solely Derek Harriet, watch out. said to Bongo Herman. The influence is great, you know. No far right. Naya Bingi. Come right over. Acha. Acha, cha, cha. Come right over. Say no far right.
Yeah, yeah. I'm me and say now. No matter where you go, no matter what you do, if you don't have love.
Let me down. So easy, man. What musicians can do, they do.
Yeah, yeah. I'm me and say now. No matter where you go, no matter what you do, if you don't have love in you, you got nothing at all. Cause remember, love conquer it all, love conquer everything.
Hear me now. Sha-da-ba-da-ba-da-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da.
Instruments, musicians, talent.
Pull it up, selector. Pull it up, selector. A Lego this year one, yeah.
This one coming straight from out of the dancer. This one coming straight from out of the dancer.
This kind of got more hunch than a camel. So whether you wear those skin or flannel, this is rough and tough. Hey, Mr. D, this is all I actually afford to give you for free. As you kind of know, my time is so expensive, you gotta move around merrily. And you got to realize, in my case, there will be no compromise. So you got to get your hands full. This kind of sound a really high full, as I would say. If the music make you move, kind of dig the groove. So baby, got to make you move, as I would tell it to you. Can't tell you I'm not really approve. Sound are coming down, so you got to swing and do your thing, as I would say. Kind of music hit you sky high, you got to come on down with me. And no matter what they ever say, yeah. Kind of superstitious, as I would tell you, baby. Never you be anxious. The brother would say never you be convicious. Something you want to say, but talking is my only way. And no matter what they say, these are sound of lead the way. Baby, come on down with me and let me see you swing and sway. Yeah. Gotta tell you, do your stuff, and that's no bluff. Rougher than rough, and I'm tougher than tough. Yeah. Gotta say the soulful thing I really bring. The ting-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling, you hear them children sing. Gotta see you got to come here down and do your own thing. Musical version to fill you on with conception. Kinda sound from Diana, Salama, Dana, Scotch, you want as I would say. Musical sound, you got to come on down with me. And no matter what they ever see, is that will be.
Payoff. Now we come to the payoff. This one coming straight from out of the dancer. This one coming straight from out of the dancer.
Well, yeah. Alright. Said if you want a factory, so you can make your own money. Right here is where you belong. So you sing them redemption songs for praise without praise. Praise without praise, man. Praise without praise. It's all the daily right. Whoa, it's all the daily right. See, I work for United Way, and I'm supposed to get my pay. Don't want no sad story, not my aim, that's your glory. While I show you're the one who breathe, I take the picture, you have the sweet. Instead of treat when the work is complete, I never knew you were counterfeit. Oh, praise without praise, praise without praise, man.
Now we come to the payoff. This one coming straight from out of the dancer. This one coming straight from out of the dancer. This one coming straight from out of the dancer. This one coming straight from out of the dancer.
You're going to prepare a new garden.
This one coming straight from out of the dancer. This one coming straight from out of the dancer.
Jah going to prepare a new garden. Jah going to prepare a new garden. Jah going to prepare a new garden. Jah going to prepare a new garden for his children. Yeah, for his children. Yeah. If you know humble, you can't enter. If you know humble, you can't enter. Only the meek and the humble shall enter. Only the meek and the humble shall conquer. He'll wake you in the darkest night, and if you don't right, you won't see the light. Yeah, 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 yeah. Jah going to prepare a new garden. Jah going to prepare a new garden. Jah going to prepare a new garden. Jah going to prepare a new garden to free his children out of Babylon. To free his children out of Babylon. To free his children.
Now we come to the payoff. This one coming straight from out of the dancer. This one coming straight from out of the dancer.
Introducing to the world the Reggae Music International, so check it out. The musical sound happens to be the A1 sound. Yeah, you know, live it up, live it up, good. Hey, come make me tell you about the A1 sound. Come make me tell you about the A1 sound. Cause this a sound come fi mash downtown. Cause this a sound a the general sound. Cause this a sound a no criminal sound. Bang to bang make we yank and skank. Bang to bang make we yank and skank. Bang to bang this a Eastman skank. Bang to bang this a Westman skank. Bang to bang this a Northman skank. Bang to bang this a Southman skank. Come let me tell you about the A1 sound. Come let me tell you about the A1 sound. Cause this a sound come fi mash downtown. Cause this a sound make the crowd gather round. Straight from London to Burnham. Say straight from London to Burnham. Hey, come let me tell you about the A1 sound. Cause this a sound of the rubber dub sound.
Come and sell the
Live it up. Hey, come let me tell you about the A1 sound. Come let me tell you about the Marshall sound. Come let me tell you about the General sound. Bang to bang, not the dread and top rank. Bang to bang, make we yank and skank. Bang to bang, this a Eastman skank. Bang to bang, this a Westman skank. Come let me tell you about the rubber dub sound. Cause this a sound make the crowd gather round. Cause this a sound make the crowd gather round. It's true.
Now we come to the payoff. Now we come to the payoff.
This one coming straight from out of the dancer. This one coming straight from out of the dancer.
special request to the girl called Princess. Ooh, my love is true to you. Yeah. Everywhere I go, say the girl never bad love for me. Everywhere I go, say the girl never bad love for me. Because I'm so sexy, yeah. Because I'm so sexy, it's true. I go to the east, or I go to the west, she at the bed. I go to the east, or I go to the west, she at the bed. Sister princess, yeah, you are the best, and it's true. I love how you kiss, and I even love how you caress. I love how when you touch match up every year in a little dante. Hey, hey, hey. Sister princess, yeah, you are the best. It is true, you are the best. It is true, oh, can't you see, oh? Everywhere I go, said the girl never bad love for me.
Now we come to the payoff. This one coming straight from out of the dancer. This one coming straight from out of the dancer. This one coming straight from out of the dancer. This one coming straight from out of the dancer.
Dip for diplomatic, dip for hippocratic, drive for drive on tourist, top for top on artist. City hypocrites, them a galande. City hypocrites, them a galande. City hypocrites, them a galande. And oh, them cut against them one another. Cut against them one another. Oh, them teach to love one another. Oh, them teach to love one another. And go. Them a run, come with them grabalicious. Them a run, come with them grabalicious. Them a run, come with them grabalicious. Them a run, come with them grabalicious.
Now we come to the payoff. This one coming straight from out of the dancer. This one coming straight from out of the dancer. Now we come to the payoff. Now we come to the payoff. This one coming straight from out of the dancer. This one coming straight from out of the dancer.
Bend down low. Let
get together and feel alright. One love, hear my plea. One heart, give thanks and praise to the Lord, and I will feel alright. Simmer down, you're licking too hard, so simmer down. Soon you get dropped, so simmer down. When you hear what I say, after breaks your heart, then you'll be sad, so sad, and then your tears rolls on. I tell you then you know it hurts to be alone. Oh, what a feeling! Oh, what a feeling! Oh, what a feeling! Oh, what a feeling to be blue. Have you ever had a lonesome feeling? This was called true love and affection. This was called true love and affection. This was called true love and affection. Feel that spirit. I'm gonna put it on. Feel that spirit.
But you can't run away from yourself. 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 Must have done. You must have done something wrong. Something wrong. Said you must have done. You must have done. Oh, something wrong. Something wrong. Why you can't find the place where you belong? Running away. Running away. Running away. Running away. Running away. Every man thinketh his burden is the heaviest. Every man thinketh his burden is the heaviest. But still me, who feels it knows it, Lord. 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 You're running it. That's why we gonna be burning and looting tonight. I say we gonna burn and loot, burning and looting tonight. One more thing, burning all pollution tonight. Oh yeah, yeah, burning all illusion tonight. Oh, stop them. Give me the food and let me grow. Let the roots man take a blow. Hey. All them drugs gonna make you slow now. It's not the music of the ghetto. Hey. Weeping and wailing tonight. Who can stop the tears? Weeping and wailing tonight. We've been suffering these long, long years. Weeping and wailing tonight. Will you say cheer? Weeping and wailing tonight. But where? Give me the food and let me grow. Let the root man take a blow. Hey, I said, all and drugs don't make you so. It's not the music of the ghetto. We gonna be burning and looting tonight to survive. Yeah, burning and looting tonight. Save your baby life. Burning all pollution.
This is the burial of Longshot. Him dead, as if you didn't know.
People dressed in black, see how they mourn down a Camanas Park. Aye. People dressed in black, hear how they mourn down a Camanas Park. Mourning for Longshot. Aye. Mourning for Longshot. Aye. It was in the first race, Longshot just couldn't stand the pace. No, no, no. 4 furlongs out, Longshot just couldn't stand the pace. Yeah, yeah. Mourning for Longshot. Aye. Mourning for Longshot. Longshot. Longshot, Longshot, kicky bucket. Longshot, 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 kicky bucket. Yeah.
Here we go!
So you see, we have to be careful with the Marley family, because them very, with their music. So I go round and round and round. Anyway, I hope see that Sati Phil show me. Deuteronomy, yes, 24:16. Parents are not to put to death are not to be put to death for their children. Parents are not to be put to death for their children. Nor their children put to death for their parents. Each will die for their own sins. Each will die for their own sins. Do not deprive the foreigner or the fatherless of justice, or take the cloak of the widow as a pledge. But remember that you were slaves in Egypt, and the Lord, your God, redeemed you from there. Parents are not to be put to death for their children, nor children put to death for their parents. Each will die for their own sins. Do not deprive the foreigner or the fatherless of justice, or take the cloak of the widow as a pledge. Remember that you were slaves in Egypt, and your Lord, your God, you hear that? Your Lord, your God, redeem you from there. So, for people them to be told, the mass population to be told that this crucifixion was to take the sins of man, and that death was conquered, is wishful thinking. And when you read for yourself and think for yourself, with not people trying to hijack your mind to that particular thinking of theirs, which is what has hoodwinked and captured so much millions of people, especially black people. And I tell you, now that's superiority. Trickified superiority, but that is superiority. You understand? When you can work something like that on a people, on peoples, and even leave them on their own, that's some dangerous psychology. It's like it's inside your system. Don't bother with not being Russian. It's part of your system. And it's something that you imagine, and your mind is telling you it's true. And you're not going to search to find out anything because it's already baked. It's inside. It's on the hard drive. You know them virus that come and grab up things, and if you don't have a protector already, you can't do nothing about it. It's already there. It's contaminated. And the more you try to erase, the more it becomes infested. I tell you, the more you try, the more infestation takes place. And that's us. The more you try to liberate the minds of people, of our people, the deeper them go into the thing and run from you. They don't want to know you. And them get stronger and stronger in that something there. And no matter how you try, take them to the places that once was, and it's now we are clean out the place and fill up the place with our bodies. And the host nation, them gone somewhere else. But just internationally or nationally show what is happening. Songs of praise pops up. And it's got a Caribbean flavor. Because you know, so we can sing. Yes, you know that. So it's got this flavor. And they're the middle class groomed black people. They're not reachable, period. It's like when you meet a Jehovah Witness. You see them name Witness? If you're there upon their wavelength, you've got their attention. But the second you switch, it's like you're not there. And they're not open to any form of other reasoning, you know. Even to read what they have, they're not open. They're less considerate. But they work hard. They accept their duties, whatever, very seriously. Are them type of people we need, we should be like. They're up early morning. When they work an area, I tell you, even the ants are notified. The ant are notified. They canvass communities. And their elders, along with some teenagers. So they present a family when they're canvassing. That's the image. We need some of them kind of services to get our people in one space so we can discuss our conditions and circumstances, our situations. Like today, them show on London, a black man that do some things for children in care. And he's also doing mentoring in prisons. Are we again? But you see, all these little patch-up comes because people use their smarts to get funding for this type of thing. But they don't do nothing for us. Then bypass, they ignore what is actually happening for us because their minds are seeing things from an integrational point of view. They see themselves as being home, British. Them can't see nothing else. And they refuse to see other than. So when you sit down, when we have to sit down and think and look at ourselves and examine ourselves, we have some serious problem. Serious problem. Because we have to get over that hurdle. Because some of those people, don't want to know us. That's why I'm afraid of this middle class that is brewing. We've let so many years go by and we haven't got syllabuses, nothing but long conversation like me. And it's not reaching a huge number. And many people have been sleeping. Culturally sleeping. Systematically sleeping. They would never declare they're Africans. And they don't want to know anything about ancestors' roots. But yet still, throughout the year, them can reflect on the First World War, and them can reflect on Christmas. And they will not stop saying hallelujah. And many of this is our fault, especially our brothers and sisters on the continent. Because you still have some of them trying to tell you that that which the European man has or developed is theirs. My soul failed to recognize that. And I've been time after time to Abyssinia. And we can see the parting of the ways. So I don't know what West Africans are dealing with. I don't. Even Central, but it's not a great deal. It's a strange thing. So we are lost. But I got to keep knocking. And we also need to remember South Africa. See, them glass up Mandela and derail Winnie Mandela and glass up Bishop Tutu. And none of the South Africans that established the apartheid system and did kill thousands of us and made our lives, the South African lives, a misery through the system of apartheid and huge racism and pillaging and the brutality that nation had to encounter. These are the things that hurts my soul, seriously. Because not a thing has happened. And them use this man, Bishop Tutu, with a front saying that Jesus Christ would have wished for forgiveness. So we can have a brighter day. So them come up with this thing, reconciliation. So I them never have reconciliation with the Germans, with Germany. And reconciliation with the masses of Europe. It's reconciliation. They never have reconciliation for Haiti. Haiti is still suffering through the European exploitation and the fact that he had to lose face by our ancestors. And Britain, with all the money that they still make from slavery and colonialization, and now are returning to the continent to show China and the rest of Europe who is the boss. They wasn't intending to let anything slip away. The Queen hand over to Charles the leadership of the money bag, Commonwealth. Never give it to Harry. Never mind Harry, never give it to us. Never say, well, hold on, you people should elect them on yourself. No, because we are her children. Fatherless, motherless children. And we're so obedient. No reconciliation for Germany and the atrocities, but reconciliation, forgiveness, turn the other cheek for the Africans in South Africa. I think a newborn babe to read, if there's anything written, or just to be told that this was the outcome of a system that pillaged, murdered thousands of people, capturing their land and enslaved them. Nothing happened to them. That gives rise to this same thing happening again in a different way, different form. So those who have not seen Jerusalem, Al-Quds, there's an apartheid system, the same mentality, same systematic brutality is inflicted on the Palestinian people for more than 70 years. And there is a wall that your Emperor Nero, imminent threat, impeachment president, and his administration and their media platform have not shown or let it be seen. You need to find out from the United Nations, what role are they playing? What is it? When it comes to Africa, black people, the United Nations is nothing. When it comes to people of color, they're nothing. And one has to ask a question. What in the hell is this democracy? What is it? Just before the election, or during the election here, there's a whole heap of thing happening, London Bridge, all around Parliament. And now we can see a lot of photographs are being put out of people that are security threat to the country. But they're in prison. And some of them will be released in the next few months and some weeks. It's creating tension and hostility. You got to look at the divide. This is not freedom of the press. This is someone deciding to agitate a situation. And dead people can't talk. And the handlers of these people are not speaking. And the medical and the fraternities, where it's mental health or otherwise, are not speaking either. Maybe they're not allowed, but there's no voices. Because some of these people have been deranged. And many of them, if not all of them, were known. And they were tracked and traced and followed, and it's something cynical, seriously. But Bishop Tutu, and all that has happened in 27 years, there's no conditioning in South Africa that's changed. What has actually changed is the white people, them, are strong. They're not fussing about anything. They're strong. And maybe stronger than they were before. No change. People go there and they see in the white provinces good roads and so forth. But in the townships that the ANC and others were really working hard to transform, nothing's changed. Nothing has changed. In the Congo, nothing's changed. Europeans, Askanakis, gets the benefit of the material, diamonds. What is the other place the name? Zaire. Nothing's changed. Europeans, extraction. Angola, you not hear nothing. Them set many of them on the Muslims. Nothing has changed. Disasters. But 2 weeks ago, all members were summoned here to meet with the Prime Minister. Two days before the completion of the withdrawal called Brexit. I tell you, we're in some serious climatic times. Pastor, seriously. And people them who know your pastor them, Deuteronomy 24 to 20. study it. But I'm reading 16. Tomorrow, God willing, I'll continue to 20. Yeah. Because now you should know about harvesting. You should know about sharing. And this is allegedly the children of Israel, Jacob children, being spoken to again. And all of their compatriots. So we're not just speaking of 12 people, 13 people. No. And we're not speaking of millions of people. You see? Parents are not to be put to death for their children's actions. You understand? Nor children put to death for their parents' actions. You got it? Each will die for their own sins. Not Jesus Christ died for my wicked and evil ways. Me or my mother, or my mother's children, me being the child of her. No, each will die for their own sins. Do not deprive the foreigner. You hear that? Or the fatherless of justice. See? So what's happening in Palestine? Tell me, seriously, what's happening in South Africa? What's happening in Africa, period? Or take the cloak of a widow as a pledge. Remember that you were slaves in Egypt, and your Lord and the Lord your God redeem you from there. So reconciliation, Tutu and your family and your followers, that's not redeeming. There had to be a parting of the ways. But the children of Israel, their home was not Kemet. They went into Kemet for refuge. And they grew in Kemet. You need to read again the story of Yahya, of Yusuf, sorry. Yahya is John. Of Yusuf alayhi salam. And you all need to understand that if God is the one who chooses messengers and prophets, no one chooses themselves. And they cannot be doing atrocious actions. No. There's no David sexing a woman and then killing her husband because he saw her naked and he liked what he saw and he wanted her. No. All of these ill things that is written. And now you see the behavior of people. No, this is not God. These people are talking about. It's not God. And these people are not messengers of God that they're referring to. And when the truth hit them straight in them eye, them jump somewhere else. Or they don't even bother read that part. They move somewhere else. Because our souls, our conscience, our spirit would pluck up. And we will ask questions. Not just sit there and cry. We'll ask questions. Why haven't you been telling us the truth, pastors, preachers, And it will go like this. There'll be a revolution in the church. But you all have been taught how to jump all over the place and play hula hoops. There's a lot to be spoken about in this whole Deuteronomy because it's all about harvesting, using the fields, being good, and realizing that God, the church and the sustainer, has provided for us. And we must be kind to others and not just ourselves. And we must share our produce with others, not just ourselves. How the hell is someone keep talking about Israel and not recognizing that he's talking about a family and a people, but talking about a place? There's a whole heap of misappropriation of words and deeds taking place, lying everywhere, plagiarizing things to suit themselves. Wicked, terrible. Beat the olives from the tree and do not go over the branches a second time. Leave what remains for the foreigner and the fatherless and the widowers. This is just the olive trees. Gosh, man, I should be a minister. This is just talking about harvesting. This is talking about the fields. That's what I tell you. We need shepherds. We don't need no damn pastors. We need some shepherds. People understand and have belief and fear in God and don't want to follow Bar Jesus and Paul. Paul was working with a musician through the Romans and then come and hijack something. And now they create a make-believe world and a make-believe ideology. Make-believe. And where's the love? Where's the sincerity? There's nothing that we have on this earth that we put here. Nothing. So can we be so foolish? Read the story, simple, about Egypt. Slowly. And understand what happened there. Or what was happening. Some of it. Especially Yusuf alayhi salam. Come on, you heard of Pharaoh had dreams. But you also should remember that Joseph's brothers, Yusuf's brothers, tried to get rid of him through jealousy. And them dash him away. And he was the one that was saved and took into Egypt and sold. So let's look at this slavery thing, because he was sold. He was dashing away by his brothers. At that time, there were 11. No. There were 10. Him being the 11th and Benjamin being the 12th. Don't you know that those 10 were punished? Don't you know that many of the teaching the majority of the teaching after Egypt was about these 10. No one have told you? No one didn't tell you? Those 10 were wicked. It's not one time them try get rid of Joseph. Several times. And them lied to them father. But him soul, his spirit would never have it. Never have it. And he grew up not knowing Benjamin. But him asked them, because he heard. To bring the young brother, their youngest brother, with them. When he tricked them with the cup in the bag. When they were given harvest of grain, corn, wheat. This is a story. What, an allegory? Check the story. Read it clearly. And then understand it. And then begin to appreciate it. Then you see what Musa alayhi salam and Aaron had to do. But today we are living off the benefit of Yusuf. We have storehouses, we have supermarket, we have reservoir. We have learned how to organize our farms. We've learned how to share and preserve our food stock. Not for the greater good, because we put a currency in there. So we don't share. But what is this asking? This is asking for us to learn how to share the harvest, how to use the land, how not to forget ourselves. And we shouldn't be the ones who push ourselves up and demean others. And the space that they were in Egypt, they didn't live that type of life. So where did they get that behavior from? They were like that. This is why Yusuf, his brothers, wanted to get rid of him. Jealousy is one of the weaknesses of us human beings. And that same jealousy showed its ugly face with our father, mother, brother, and sisters. Adam, Hawa, Cain, and Abel. Jealousy, envy. It's a serious thing, It's part of the system. That's why we Muslims understand that our journey to creation, we weren't finished. What we meant to have gone through and Jannah El Firdaus got cut short. So where we finish up on earth, we have problem because we weren't finished. We weren't complete. We were not complete. And why is God, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, keeps sending signs, warners, messengers, and prophets to us? We still became stiff-necked and hard. And through the evolution of time, we have not learned anything. Why is there such a nation that can feed the world refuse to? They just want to dominate people and make people frightened for them. And they spend time developing destructive tools, as we will call them, weapons, instead of engaging in creating a harmonious, pleasant life for everyone on earth to the best of our abilities. But just to show you that we are weak, little illnesses pops up and we can't do nothing about it. And we can really, you know. But our brains is about defense and attack. Our brains is based on power and dictating and controlling others. So we lack that wisdom. We lack that vision, because everything that we need to be sustained is given unto us. Everything. So just the other day, some people behave like them is gods or something. Stuff a lot of them. Then we hear, boom, some virus. Just like some years back, boom, something come up. It's AIDS. You see all of that? That was controlling everything. And then it just trickled down, and it's still there. The wicked people who create this thing is still there. All of these plagues, all of these things, huh? And it could be that it's we that want to get rid of. It's just like when your people should think, Desert Storm, what happened to the soldiers them that Bush sent over there, sir? Many of them return and them ill. So now we have Desert Storm 2. Same thing. But one thing that they did not do and tell the world, they never blame Iraq for any weapons of mass destruction. Them see them had, but they couldn't find and they haven't found. And that thing that caused their soldiers to be sick and return, they never blamed the Iraqi for it. And then all the nastiness, bad behavior, and the wickedest things that they have done over there as soldiers. We don't hear nothing about no trials. But we've got this, them still have this thing called Guantanamo Bay with a whole heap of people still inside it. It's just like a prison them have in the States that's meant to be Angola and Louisiana. A whole heap of people inside there, they call them political prisoner. But they're black. The mass majority are black. From the Panthers and people them who was with Angela Davis and Jack Jackson and Jonathan and others. May I tell you, anybody that them were afraid of or they felt it was necessary to just remove them. Who they didn't kill them, put inside there, so. This is America. So how much does Britain have? Britain is deporting black people, Caribbean citizens or Caribbean British citizens out of England saying that they're criminals. And it's then those who they have their papers but them lost. Listen, that whole fiasco with the immigration policy gone wrong with the woman that was prime minister. A whole heap of madness. But where's our lawyers? WhatsApp is our news. And we are trying to find out and talk to people and try to get 3,000 signatures and everything to halt something. Hey, come on, man. With me, I remember them have the thing, yardy, yardy, yardy. Every minute, yardy, yardy, yardy. No, it's terrorists, terrorists, terrorists. Terrorists, terrorists, terrorists. But when I hear the drums, them pedophile, pedophile, pedophile. Come on, what's happening? It's sad. It's sad. We'll play one more tune, me gone. Bob Marley, your family, man. The family would have bust me long time. I can't play them, your tunes. I can't play your tune them too tough because the people, your children them. John Holt, me gone. Listen, may I tell you, Deuteronomy, you know, right? Deuteronomy. And go right back to Bar Jesus, you know. Go back to Bar Jesus and read. Find out what was Bar Jesus? Who was Bar Jesus? Hey, seriously, check it. Go into Acts 13, 6 to 12. Just read Acts, period. I tell you. 13, just read it, man. Even read the Greek. Find someone who can translate and you understand so that you have a translation. This is the thing about people are Christian-minded, whatever that is. You have a Greek translation. So, for those who say that this thing come out of Africa, how the hell we are dealing with the Greeks? But we have Amharic, Swahili, and Arabic, and Hebrew. Nothing to do with no Europeans, you know. So, when Europe comes into this thing, it's when you hear them say, the Greek. But that which them say them have in the Greek, they don't have any full book. I just don't understand how they speak. Because everything them have, them say, is in the Greek. But the originals, they don't have. What happened to the originals? It's the words of God. What happened to the originals? So if you don't have the originals in the Greek, where's the originals in the Amharic and the Swahili, the Hebrew and the Arabic? Where are they? See? So you get lost in these people's madness. You do. And the worst thing is with us black people, African people, well, black people from the African Caribbean in the diaspora, we don't know no languages. Oh, some men know, parlez-vous français? Oui, oui. What is that? Is that all? That's French. Had nothing to do with the continent and has nothing to do with this alleged book. It doesn't. So no matter how somebody want to tell you, say, that it's something written from the walls of Kemet, you got to understand, throughout a period of time, a lot of similarities with man's quest for God. They're very similar. But why Kemet is important is because they were on the right path and them slipped just like many others. But they were the capital. It was the capital. You don't try to understand that, have you? You think something just happened there, and these people that you're talking about, these Israelites, the 12th tribe of Israel, becomes the all. So what does that make God? A separatist, right? I'm choosing my words very carefully. Because you must know that it's us, the people them who do wrong, God tried to bring them back, bring them to right. He never dashed them away, no. Any dashing is ourselves to that. Because God Almighty cannot divorce or withhold anything from us. We do them withholding. There is nothing on this earth that we give to ourselves. We're the one who's in need of life. Don't let nobody fool you. We're the one that's in need of life. And everything that we need for life is given, awarded, granted, given unto us. When I talk about the idiot guy who thinks him rich, when I talk about some guy who thinks him is a prime minister and a president and that, nah. When I talk about some guy who can pick up a microphone and say I sing, no. Because all of them guys there, including myself, we are going to get sick and we are going dead. And when we're in agony, a God we are called. It's God we calling. It's God we are praying to. You want to see the strongest guy out there? Just buck him to and see what happens. Listen to him. I'll take a needle and stick him in his backside, I'm shoulder, and listen to him. He could be the roughest guy. I got him a call. It's only because many of them, all of us, have been taught Jesus, Jesus. So this first bloody thing coming in my, oh, Jesus Christ. Huh? But you see, them say, Lord God help me. Oh God. Hey, listen to them. Agony, tears, begging. Them don't say, Jennifer, help me. No, it's God them a call for. It's when them fall down and get up, them going to call Arville, this body, that body. See? But them a call God, them a pray to God. You serious thing. So what am I saying all that for? Stop let people them fool you and run off like Ramsey. Ramsey wanted to be a god. You see the problem with Egypt, with the pharaohs of Egypt. And then when Rome tried to intervene, Rome tried to intervene and mash up the thing after. But what did they do? Huh? There was a set that decided that they want to be God on earth. They wanted people them to worship them. And there's one thing you cannot do, we can't do. Is make partners with God and make other gods. You see? And you look at the history. You see, many kingdoms were here, but them start to elect of themselves gods. See? We don't want to see that because pastor not taught like that. Reverend not taught like that. Bishop not taught like that. Pope not taught like that. Pope supposed to be the representative of Christ, which means to another set of people is a representative of God on earth, because them are teaching us that Christ is God as well. A strange concoction. Very strange. So, go back to Bar Jesus and read. You understand? And stop give Paul so much lead way. See the trickery, man. Take yourself to court. Set it up properly. You understand? Set it up properly. Analyze it. Be a critic of your own judgment. Remember school. Remember English criticism. Work it from that standpoint. And I'm telling you, we'll do ourselves some justice. If we don't, we'll follow blindly. We think say we eye open? No. We'll follow blindly. So I'm saying, use our eyes, read about soul, understand that is Paul, and see what the Roman consulate were instructing him to do, and see how he managed to introduce Jesus Christ. That's all I'm saying. See for yourselves how Paul introduced Jesus Christ. See? And corrupt everything. And if when a vex, you can vex till the cow jump over moon. Because what you're denying yourself is to look for yourself, to analyze for yourself, be a critic for yourself. Not for me. I'm a Muslim. You understand? But I know the mass majority of us are followers of Europeans. And another thing still, I'm going to talk about this one tomorrow. You see, the new minister for Grenada and the government in Grenada, for some strange reason, reach out to the government of Jamaica. That should never happen in my lifetime. Seriously. There need to be a bar on that. How come? Are the administration of Jamaica supposed to make an apology to Grenada? And that not going to happen because the Queen and America is not going to allow that. So I don't know what the hell we're doing there. Seriously. That needs to be protested about. That should never let go easy like that. Nah. Because some people needs to be trial for the murder of that administration. But what them say? Siaga is gone. Gone? No, star. The land is there. The political apparatus is there. You understand? Hitler's gone long time. And all those people, them, have gone too. So why can't I keep saying there's something wrong? What happened, God damn it, in Grenada? That Britain, America, Barbados, and Jamaica went and killed Morris Bishop and the administration of the Grenadian government. Should never be allowed to get away. Never. There should be an international criminal court investigation and a United Nations oversee investigation of all that went on. You can't move forward because someone says that it's now 40 years. Are you an idiot? If it's now 40 years and it's 70 odd last years that something happened in a Palestine, in Palestine, the so-called European war, how the hell is that people still have to pay a price for that? Explain that. Explain that. And we who have been enslaved and still are servitude slaves, no one is saying, remember us, commemorate our ancestors, and go across the Atlantic and lay reefs and have a slavery remembrance month. No, we just say, let them tell we say we have Black History Month and no slavery remembrance and no repatriation, no reparation, no nothing. Just long conversations. And time is their master. Because it's time they work with. Out of sight, out of mind, new generation come, they're none the wiser, because we have no institution in the diaspora, and at home we're not being aided and supported, so it's time it's going to kick us in. Time. You speak to some of them Yankee boy them, what are you talking about? They just, hey, they're on a different thing. Or you think Cosby getting a problem? It's some idiot boy that's supposed to be what? And want to be a comic. And they see him Trump up there don't like Cosby, period. And them set him up big time. And now all these women that's supposed to be in the people that him allegedly did things to are now saying how bad them feel, and it wasn't true. Who is listening now? Who is listening? Man, come out and tell black youth, then pull up your goddamn trousers and stop being this way. And some jackass boy who wants to be something, go on him ramp on his comic program and make joke after Bill. And one of the joke was mixing. Nobody never said allege and charge him. Huh? Because cockroach don't have no business in a foul pen. My mother always said that. You see? I know somebody come and tell you, say, oh, it was an impeachment. Impeachment is imminent. it's all Hollywood. Then you have another guy, pedophilia, another guy, a molester, and this man can walk about the place. The man pretends that he might have some illness and everything, and can do anything. And our top people like Oprah Winfrey, all these people, and this man is not deemed to be, but things I've said to have happened. And impaired this body, that body. Listen, I tell you, man, cockroach is serious, mom. I tell you. Gosh, man, cockroaches don't have no business in a foul pen. Huh? So it means black people keep our ass to ourselves, man. You understand? Represent ourselves. Do for ourselves. Embrace ourselves, right? And leave other people goddamn business alone and keep moving. But we're not doing that. We're not doing that. Right. So I'm gone. I'll leave you with Bar. Who was Bar Jesus? Right? Find out who was Paul. Right? Really and truly, don't let people tell you. Right? You don't hear them. Read for yourself. Right? I remember something, The British Library is in Houston. The British Museum is just across the road from there. Huh? It's not Holborn. It's in between Tottenham Court Road, Holborn. It's there. it's not far. You understand? Central London. Okay? But the library is there. And any difficulty? Oxford and Cambridge, man. Cambridge Press and Cambridge Library. They're there. Don't fret. It's their books. But don't fret. And no one is going to tell you, say, you're not allowed in there. What you have to do is register. And once you register and you have time, then you just go, then let you read 2 page, 1.5 page. Huh? And you just go and read and take your pencil and your notepad and make notes. Because some of the documents, some of the scriptural documents is so authentic and everything. You have to register and you have to book your time. It's up to you, up to us, if we decide that we accept that one or not that one. But at least you're going to know something. Serious. And then you just have a look at the country and you say to yourself, wait a minute. So they've outgrown this thing. And then you start feeling like a fool. But it's not our fault because the best of us haven't taught us anything. They refuse to speak. That's why we can say good things about some Americans, because they're brave. Over here, we soft like little pamper. You understand? But we have, the information is here. It is here. Some patience and some hard work, and set up a little committee. Hey, we're good. We're good, seriously. One of the reasons they never want Farrakhan coming. Farrakhan would have tell you all these things here earlier. Not the things him and no. He would tell you earlier how to structuralize. Yeah? And to accumulate information and to decipher it and keep it among ourselves and rise up. But splinters have come. And now the fraudulent Yankee boy them is invaded the minds of many of our young people. They want to be like them. And they're using the new tabulator media just like them too. And many are picking up themselves and running over there, sir, to compete and to learn more of their strategies and then bring it back here and become scammers, fraudsters, and them start with them family, misuse them for financial benefits. It's sad. We are going with John Holt. Should have gone up with Bob Marley, but me I tell you the truth, you know. The Marley family, when you play them tune, them get very disturbed. I must do a tribute to John Holt, you know, Sir John Holt. Yeah, man, 1,000 volt. Guidance.
Love I can feel. That's the only kind of love I think is real. Don't want to be going by something I heard. 'Cause
hear this now. Acts 2:22. You see all the tools? 222. Acts 2:22. Ye men of Israel, hear these words. Christ of Nazareth, a man approved of God among you by miracles and wonders and signs, which God did by him in the midst of you, not somewhere else, in the midst of you, as you yourself also know. See? So how did they teach now that Jesus Christ, well, I don't want to deal with this G, but that that name is God and the Son of God. Hear ye men of Israel, hear these words. Christ of Nazareth, a man approved of God among you by miracles and wonders and signs, which God did by him in the midst of you, as ye yourself also know. Huh? Come on. See? So you have to read the thing. Don't let these people keep jumping and play hula hoops about the place and then tell you that I'm a minister of God and this and that and the other. Listen, tell him to speak the truth as him know what it is in him and in that book. I read it. I don't want to hear nothing from his inspiration and his own perception. When he's perceiving, say that. When he's imagining something, say that. When he dreams something, say that. But don't put things out there and then turn around and say that this is what God said. They're making mockery. And then that's why some of us hook on to people, We hook on to them. And then we could call the person man of God and this and that and the other. No. And then we have all these people out there, prophetess, this, that. How did all these things happen? People aspiring to be. Huh? Another man can't keep what him got between him legs to himself. A woman can't keep her hands to herself. Her eyes are open wide. She want all the latest of everything. Plus the man are going to use her to try to get more. So it's a hustle. Right? And they're working on the volatile emotions of people. Oh yeah. You don't have to get a degree to know how to charm people. Seriously. Because all of us want to be spiritual. All of us want to be close to God. We need that's us. All human beings, but we black people, we're more in it. And if you package your thing properly, oh gosh, man, hook, line, and sink. That's what you have to do. And that's what people have been doing. See? And it's not good. And they're not afraid of the Creator. They're not afraid of God. Because if they're afraid of God, they will never do it. But it's not God them I work with, It's a system them I work with. Oh, yeah. A system. See? And the system that it is to be popular among people, to create their own financial awards. Yeah. Because who can turn around and tell me, say, that you force me to give you money? You can say that with your mouth, but you can't prove that. Well, I didn't raid your bank. I didn't take nothing out of your hand. Me and you never had no money exchange, and neither me and you had no conversation about any money. The closest I'm going to get to that is tithing. And you have to turn around and say, well, I understand from Pastor Best that tithing meant money. Did I say that? So you see, there's so many methods that's being used. And that goes to the most vulnerable and the strongest among us, because we all want to be in touch with God, and we all want to be a follower of God, and we all want to be one who behaves correctly according to God. So if I can keep you in line, I've done the job. Which job? The job that I want. You understand? What I'm trying to pursue, I've been able to accomplish it. Yeah. But if I feared God, and it's God that I'm serving, as well as helping the people, I would not try to encroach on the people them, misuse the people them, and tell the people them to follow me. Who am I? I want God too. And I don't have a private number for God, exclusive. No. See? So pastors them who behave like them have a private connection to God, and nobody else have it but him. And then another one is saying the same damn thing. So him have it too. So there's so many of them have this. How come we, the lay people, them, right, can't have this number? And when I look and I last recognize the same book you're carrying, I have too. So how comes I'm not finding or getting this number, Pastor? Share that with me. But then they make God a secret. And God is not a secret. You see? So, guidance. We're gone for real.